"50 Cent is the man who made bulletproof vests cool. After being shot 9 times, the hip-hop superstar made sure he could always protect himself. But since releasing 2 #1 albums, 3 movies, 2 video games, and even a clothing line, these days 50 is more about designer fashion than fearing for his life.
This is Armani. 90% of the time you see him on a red carpet, I'm wearing Armani.
From public feuds to platinum records, 50 Cent has shot like a bullet to the top of the chart. With his catchy hooks, rhymes about guns and girls, and laid-back delivery, 50 Cent has become a hip-hop icon. His rise to the top shows that success isn't just for those who come into the world easily. If you've got enough determination, anyone can climb to the top.
I don't think ambition is a learned behavior. You know, it's within the person, and I constantly want to move to the next level. And every time I get to a new space, it feels great. And then I run into someone who's on that space above it. You know, and particularly outside of the United States, like my friends in the UK, London, they make what I've done financially look cute.
50 Cent's journey is an inspiration. In a matter of years, he went from drug dealing, violence, and jail time to becoming one of the biggest artists on the planet, no matter what got in his way. Fans around the world agree that 50 is an inspiration.
That's just a dream, to come out the hood and get money. Everybody wants to do it. A lot of people hate on him and stuff like that, but you gotta love him, or he's the one you love to hate. I don't know, whatever it is, 50's, he got it.
And not only did his music help get him out of the hood, he has now invested in the G-Unit record label, Glacow Vitamin Water, and started his own line of clothing. It's his business acumen that made actor Will Smith sit up and pay attention.
Well, I mean, 50 Cent is definitely has role model elements. You know, there's no question. 50 Cent is a huge businessman. You know, it's what gets illuminated versus what the truth of the life is might be more the issue.
Born Curtis Jackson in Southside, Queens, 50 Cent grew up with his teenaged mother, Sabrina, until she was murdered when he was a child. 50 Cent went to live with his grandparents. But while his grandparents thought he was at after-school programs, 50 was selling cocaine on the streets, earning up to $5,000 a day.
I always had to maintain being 2 different people because I had to be my grandmama's baby when I come in the house, and then I got to do what I got to do to get by in the street.
50 was arrested 3 times, once for selling cocaine to an undercover police officer, and was sentenced to 3 to 9 years in prison. In the end, he spent 6 months in a shock boot camp before being released. Things started to turn around in 1996 when 50 was introduced to Jam Master Jay from Run DMC. Jam Master gave 50 time to practice and record in his studio, and has also been credited with helping 50 learn to write catchy hooks. In 1999, 50's rhymes caught the attention of Columbia Records, who eventually signed him. He recorded the unreleased album Power of a Dollar. But the day before he was set to shoot a music video for one of the singles, 50's good luck came to an end. Standing outside his grandmother's house, 50 was shot 9 times by a gunman, reportedly linked to 50's past life as a drug dealer. As 50 himself has said, when you make a decision to change your life, everybody around you doesn't decide at the same time. Columbia dropped 50, eager to get away from the bad press. After a quick 5-month recovery, 50 became determined to find his own fame, not content to sit around telling the world that he was once signed to Columbia. 50 began recording and distributing his own bootleg mixtapes to underground DJs. His hard work paid off. rap superstar Eminem heard 50's music and signed him to Shady Records, as well as getting his track Wankster on the 8 Mile soundtrack. Today, 50 Cent gives Eminem a lot of credit for shaping his sound and getting him into the mainstream.
I think people forget that I'm actually Eminem's artist. You know what I'm saying? Because I've had so much success on my own and moved away from it. But if you could look back, I did an interview, the very first interview I did after we were on the video set of In the Club. It was myself, Eminem, Dr. Dre. M had like a green headband on, green and white shirt, and me and Dre was there, and I said my goal was to fit in with Eminem and Dr. Dre. I didn't mean to fit in under Eminem and Dr. Dre. I meant to fit in as an equal party. And that's what I achieved over this time period.
The pair have remained friends and continue to collaborate. Even though 50 Cent is now a huge superstar in his own right, he still gets excited to work with Eminem.
Oh man, you can expect my new record. You know, I'm working on it now. It's exciting, you know. Eminem has put together a new production for me. Like, while he's had a chance to sit still a little more. He was actually scheduled to come out on tour with me overseas, and he stayed back, so now he's created new material for me to prepare for my next album, so I'm excited.
There is no doubt that even back in 2002, Eminem heard what the public and the critics are so enamored with now. 50's laid-back grooves, deceptively amateur-sounding tenor voice, catchy riffs, and honest lyrics.
What 50 Cent has done is revitalized the rap genre in a very specific way, in that it's a protege of Eminem's. Now he's already spawning acts with G-Unit, so it's a very natural link in that rap lineage. And what's wonderful about that is he probably will be rewarded, and he had the top-selling album of the year, so you'll see again a melding of commercial and critical interest, which doesn't usually happen with the Grammys.
In fact, it is the harsh truth about his life before stardom that makes 50 so unique. Not only are his lyrics full of gritty honesty, his delivery is also a result of his previous life. His slight vocal drawl is a result of a bullet wound in his mouth.
The music, I use my real experiences, you know, to write my music. So the things you go through make you who you are. But those are things that I was forced to go through.
These days, 50 is as far away from life in the projects as he can get. He is listed as one of hip-hop's wealthiest artists, with a fortune of around $440 million. Thanks to his music, movies, video games, clothing labels, and investments, he can splurge on friends, and in return, his pals spare no expense.
M always buys me really nice gifts. He bought me a motorcycle for my birthday. Yes. It's only 10 of them made, so it's like, I think he paid $68,000 for it. I never even bought me a motorcycle that cost that much, you know, so, because the bikes, they don't go for that, they're not that expensive, you know, but he went and bought, that's like buying me a car. I need 2 more wheels and passenger seats for that money, you know?
Although 50 Cent has remained good friends with the likes of Eminem, he hasn't stayed quite as tight with other rappers. His ability to stir up trouble goes as far back as 1999, when he released the single How to Rob, which lampooned every recording artist from Jay-Z to Mariah Carey. But he is best known for his public feuds with Kanye West and G-Unit rapper The Game. When 50 Cent's album Curtis was due to be released in the same week as Kanye West's Graduation, he was so confident that his record would outsell Kanye's that he threatened to retire if Curtis wasn't the hottest on the charts. But when Graduation rocketed to #1, becoming the best-selling album of Kanye's career, and Curtis only hit #2, 50 Cent seemed happy to play up their spat as just a way of getting more publicity.
See, I know how to get it going, don't I? I tell you I'm gonna quit music, then everybody wants to ask me questions. This guy's he hasn't sold a fraction of the material I sold. We out here, y'all know that. Y'all don't need me to tell you that. You know what I mean? But this is how you get it going. This is great publicity, man. I could have spent $10 million more and not achieved what I achieved with that. This is great.
There were plenty of industry insiders who agreed that the extra publicity made for better sales than they might have had otherwise. Fellow rapper Ne-Yo weighed in.
You know what? I think it made for great record sales for both of them. Yeah, I'll put it that way.
And he wasn't wrong. 50 Cent happily admitted that the war of words with Kanye West was shaking up his sales.
In the actual competition between 50 Cent and Kanye West, Kanye wasn't saying anything to make it exciting enough for people to actually go out and purchase the record. So I had to raise the stakes on my own by saying I would retire. You know, but they shouldn't look forward to me retiring. They should actually look forward to my next CD, April. In April, you can see new 50 Cent before I self-destruct.
However, when 50 Cent fell out with The Game, it was a different story. The pair had been friends before The Game released his debut record, and 50 claimed he had written 6 songs for the album, for which he hadn't been given credit. Later, there were rumors that one of The Game's posse had been shot in the leg by 50 Cent's people during an altercation at a radio station. It took the anniversary of the death of fellow rapper Notorious B.I.G., or Biggie Smalls, for the pair to set aside their differences.
In the shadow of the untimely death of Biggie, today marks the anniversary of his death. We're here today to show that people can rise above even the most difficult circumstances, and together we can put negativity behind us. A lot of people don't want to see it happen, but we're responding to the 2 most important groups, and that's ourselves and our fans.
The Game also made a heartfelt apology and made sure not to disappoint his mom.
I just want to apologize on behalf of myself, 50 Cent, and to the fans, the radio stations, our labels, and I'm almost ashamed to have participated in the things that went on the last couple of weeks. So I'm here, I'm apologetic, you know. And I just want to say thank everybody for coming out. And I told you, Mom, I wasn't going to look down while I was talking.
Aside from rapping, shooting, and occasionally feuding, 50 Cent has branched out into other creative avenues. His debut video game, 50 Cent Bulletproof, was loosely based on his autobiography, although he claimed that it was mostly fictional.
Only me being shot in the game is based on the truth, and outside of that, it goes off into a fictional story. It actually was created by the same writer who created the screenplay for my film, Get Rich or Die Trying. We sat collectively and came with a great idea.
As part of the game design, 50 was able to take a back seat instead of holding the creative reins as he would with an album recording.
I didn't force myself on creatively controlling everything. Like, what I did is I came into a room full of people who do this for a living, and I allowed them to provide what was the best possible technology for it at the same time, and then I gave my input to make it more me.
All the violence in the game had critics worried it would be a bad influence on young gamers. But 50 didn't agree.
And a person that's influenced by a video game is a person that's damaged already to the point that they could have been influenced by anything that they've seen. Would send them in a direction.
The game was given a mature rating so that young viewers wouldn't be upset by the graphic detail.
Because it's rated mature doesn't mean that you shouldn't buy it for your kid. I think you should actually buy it and explain it to them. The fact that we're putting the mature stamp on the actual box means you should actually explain it to a kid yourself. It doesn't mean not to buy it for them for Christmas.
However, the most fun part for a recording artist was being able to lay down a stack of new music for fans.
It was an opportunity for me to get to the material that I missed. Because on every album, I overwrite the actual album. And then it's the song that you wish you could have put on, but you didn't because it would have worked against your publishing. You know what I'm saying? And then I had the opportunity to put like 5 or 6 of those songs there and then create the rest of the material for the actual video game.
50 Cent realized that gamers would appreciate being able to combine great music with a great game.
I think the music experience is definitely a big part of game. And, you know, for people who really play, they play it enough that they get tired of what we would consider maybe the D-class artists, music playing in the background while they're actually listening to the actual, while they're playing the game. So they usually turn the television down and play music from another source. So this is providing an opportunity for them not to have to do that.
But starring in films is something that has come naturally for this gifted performer.
My personal interest in film projects comes from me challenging myself creatively. You know, the things that I'm kind of conditioned for music, to write music. So when it comes time for me to be a part of a film project, I make more of an effort to be prepared for it, the actual project. You know, I work with acting coaches and stuff like that when I get to each individual role. And I think that and just a little bit of luck. You know, I think everything just lined up for me.
After playing the title role in the semi-autobiographical film Get Rich or Die Tryin', 50 Cent sunk his teeth into the challenge of playing a soldier in the 2006 film Home of the Brave.
Well, I played Jamal Akins, I played soldier in the Iraq War, you know, and after the actual experience of war, I come home altered from that.
50 Cent wasn't shy about discussing the film's meaning and its importance in society today.
I think it's going to be real impactful, you know what I mean? And it's totally relevant when you have people who hopefully will survive being in war and have to re-enter society following that.
The story was close to 50's heart, as he had traveled to Iraq to visit U.S. troops, so he knew how difficult soldiers' lives are.
Yeah, oh yeah, I actually did go to Iraq to perform for the soldiers. You know, and that was an experience. As soon as I get off the plane, they tell me, we ain't gonna you can die today. You know what I mean? And it's incredible. For me, for a moment, that he says that to me and it's like, wow, did I make a mistake by coming here to perform for him? You know, but what about the people who can't just get back on the plane and go home?
After Home of the Brave, 50 Cent got to play opposite two of Hollywood's biggest legends, Robert De Niro and Al Pacino in Righteous Kill, proving he can hold his own on the big screen. When it comes to love, 50 hasn't exactly had the same kind of luck that he's had with his music. Currently kicking around as a bachelor, 50 knows the pressures of the media and how they like to turn everything into a potential love triangle.
We're cordial, yeah.
Yeah, we say hi.
Yeah.
When you say friends in the U.S., it means you damn near married. Like you're dating or something else.
Oh yeah, we're definitely not dating.
So we're not that. It's just,
nothing like that.
We rode the plane together.
Even when he was out at the Armani fashion show, reporters couldn't help asking if he was there for the beautiful women.
Nah, I just came to enjoy myself.
However, Bachelor 50 has taken some tips from Hollywood's ultimate playboy, Hugh Hefner.
His lifestyle is amazing. I think it's, you know, it is pretty good. I mean, his house is like the West Coast Playboy Mansion, and my house is like the East Coast Playboy Mansion. You know, I wouldn't put a grotto pit in my backyard like at his house, but mine's is newer. So, you know, you'd have more time, a better time, and my new hot tub, inspired by his.
But he admits that life isn't all about playing around.
You know, but I just think, you know, I mean, at some point, I guess you'd be exhausted with playing around so much and find the right person.
Unfortunately, the right person for 50 Cent didn't turn out to be Shaniqua Tompkins. The couple have had a rocky road, and some of their spats have turned 50's private life into public scandal. In 1997, Shaniqua gave birth to 50 Cent's son, Marquise. In 2008, the estranged couple made headlines when Shaniqua's house caught fire. Shaniqua and Marquise were asleep in their home, which was owned by 50 Cent and had been the subject of legal disputes, when it caught fire, leaving 50 under suspicion. Shaniqua went on to sue 50 Cent for a fitting $50 million.
If you're Rose, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling
Hold
great.
on 1 second. Excuse me, look this way, please. Thank you.
Sure. God has blessed me and I'm feeling fine.
What are you looking to accomplish today?
Justice, peace, justice.
Shaniqua tried to sue 50 on the grounds that he had promised to take care of her for life, but stated that she also wanted the rapper to be more connected with his son. However, 50 has claimed that he does try to keep in touch and that it is Shaniqua constantly stopping him.
How is your sons doing?
He's fine. They're fine. Both of them are fine. They're doing fine.
When's the last time
On his birthday, he complained about not seeing him, but not speaking to him, of course. And my son gave him his new number when he called him for his birthday, and he hasn't called since then. Yeah, so for someone who wants to speak to their dad, or their dad says wants to speak to them, he hasn't returned the call.
The judge didn't side with Shaniqua, ruling that theirs was simply a case of love gone wrong.
But I feel like I told him I won.
Yeah.
I won already because I have peace. And I left, and I won.
It's his loss, right?
It's his loss, definitely.
The legal disputes weren't the first battle 50 Cent has had to face in public or in court, and they probably won't be the last. From beginning life in Southside Queens, facing drug dealing, violence, and time in jail, 50 Cent's determination to shake things up and make himself heard has seen him rise above to become one of the most famous men in hip-hop. Regardless of the trouble he has faced, he has gritted his teeth, put his head down, and worked even harder. He is a writer, rapper, musician, actor, game designer, businessman, and father. But how does 50 Cent want to be remembered?
I want them to remember me, for being a great writer. All of the other things are not really important to me. Like, I think, some people listen to the music and they create who I am before they meet me. Like she said, when I walked in here, I was quiet and pleasant. She expected me to come here and say, excuse me, can you move out my way? Or something else. I don't carry myself like that. And in my neighborhood, you can't survive if you move like that.
And 50 Cent is a man who knows how to last.